Hello, class, and welcome to the stage game. I am your director, Mr. Jeff. We have two teams, Team 1 and Team 2. When I say go, the first person in each line will run to center stage. First person in center stage wins. Before I say go, let me introduce you to a student of mine at the back of the line named Ted. Ted is a young, energetic, tall boy, but because of his ogre-like stature, he can seem quite intimidating. Eager to do well, he waits for my signal. Go. The words are uttered that put all three students into motion, and the next thing that happened shocked everyone. Like a bull on the streets of Pamplona, Spain, or like a car accident that you could see coming, but you can't look away, Ted bulldozes the other two unsuspecting children as they fly across the stage, stands at center stage, and yells, "I win!" Silence fell over the crowd. Everyone was shocked, and almost as if their amygdalas were firing at the same time, they all pointed and laughed at Ted, like he was some sort of loser. Well, he definitely did not win the stage game, that is for sure. But he did win the power to make choices. And what he was learning is that he had just started making his passion statement. Over the next couple of years, Ted enjoyed doing drama because he could be anything that he wanted to be. He could escape the reality of his life and become a character that was different than his own. But over the course of time, he got tired of being the ugly duckling, and he wanted to be the swan, the suave, debonair, romantic lead. And he did. He did so well that he won multiple awards for his performances. No longer laughed at, but revered. He is now well respected all over school, and because of his ability to live his passions, other students are inspired by him. You see, we face a grave danger in society today, and that is we are breeding non-passion seekers, people who are content with mediocrity. And yes, look, passion is difficult to define, and it's difficult to prioritize and even plan for. But if we assume this role as the ugly duckling and we pursue our passions, then within that pursuit, we'll find a purpose. And I know that this is true, basically because I've read some studies. A study by Michael Steger states that the more people participated in meaningful activities, the happier they were, and the more purposeful their lives felt. The more that they sought pleasure-seeking behaviors like being lazy or procrastination, the less fulfilling and purposeful their lives felt. And I understand this because when I was 16 years old, I was lazy. In fact, at 16 years old, I was an eventual high school dropout. My plan was to quit school and get a job, doing my skills that I had learned for the past 2 years at a trade school, and eventually, maybe, hopefully, own my own business. But see, that wasn't really what I wanted. It wasn't my passion, it wasn't me. So, instead of accepting my impending doom, like an elephant who's chained to a pole that they can easily break free from, I decided to learn something. And I graduated high school and university, and I got a job in Hong Kong, here teaching performance and presentations, inspiring students like Ted to live their passions. You see, altruism is hardwired in our brain, and according to fMRI technology and experimental research, we now know that giving activates the same pleasure seekers in our brains that are stimulated by food and sex. So, make a passion statement. Find out, what do you love? Write 3 sentences about that. Do it now if you want. You don't have to listen anymore because this is really important. If you're able to define some of those things, then you'll know exactly what to focus on. Simply put, you are the ugly duckling, making a passion statement to find other ducklings with feathers like your own. But change is difficult, and it takes a lot of courage. Trust me, I know. And I know that if you take action on your passions, you can overcome fears. Fears that may be limiting you from seeing your full potential. Because if you have a strong emotional connection to a purpose, you can change. Oh, but that fear. Oh, fear is caused by an impending danger. Ted? You creeped up on me there. Can you just back up a little bit? Thanks, I'm giving a talk. Yeah, no, just a minute, please, if you, yeah, okay, thank you. Talk, Ted, the talk? Thanks. Sorry. Fear is caused by an impending danger, evil, or pain. Ow! Ted? Pain. And whether this fear is real or imagined, it exists. But it exists because we're thinking about what's happening next. We're living within the mind. We're not living within life. Or as we say in theater, being in the moment. And if you're living in this fear of what's happening next, you're living in non-existence. And if you're living in non-existence, then your fear is 100% imaginary. And if you're living in this non-existence of this imagination, and yeah, look, imagination's a wonderful thing to have, right? To use as an asset, as a skill, to really benefit your life. But if you're living in this idea of non-existence, imagination of fear, well, that's called insanity, no? Maybe? The fear of living is a really interesting topic. In fact, the U.S. National Library of Medicine and the National Institute of Health did some studies on this. And they had discovered that fear extinction is possible, and that through exposure therapy, you can unlearn your fear. They used major depressive disorder patients for this because they have enhanced synapse plasticity in their brain. One study done by a team at UCLA had a metal cage. And inside this metal cage, they placed some rats. And what they did was they had the sound. And when the sound went off, they also had an electric shock to the bottom of this metal cage floor. And of course, over time, these rats started to fear this noise. But then they implemented this exposure therapy. And eventually, after they stopped with the shock, the rats stopped fearing the noise. You see, neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to change from internal and external environments. And it's incredibly flexible. It's our basic memory learning process. It's how we store information and we retrieve older information. But according to Mark Barrett of UCLA, fear extinction is a little bit different. It has a different mechanism in our brain. And these studies that they're doing will revolutionize the way we look at fear. And it may even give some stability towards a lot of anxiety disorder patients. Revolutionize our lives as we know it. Because living in this reality of fear is a tough place to live. And for some people, it may get to a point where it's not worth living this physical life anymore. So do it. Decide on what you love, what you have passion for. Organize your ideas and even visualize the potential outcomes and possibilities of what your life can pursue. Think of some big goals and then just work your way down until you figure out what that next step would be. But look, nothing's going to happen. Nothing will happen unless you investigate and research and plan. Talk to people. See who's doing what you love doing. Find out who is Maybe being successful in the passions that you have. Maybe even make some future financial Google spreadsheet. And then take action. Let your heart lead and your head follow. We need to adopt this craftsman mindset. Basically, finding out what you offer as value in your jobs, in your daily life, and then what value you can offer for the world. I feel that this opportunity to learn and change is vital. You see, joy is found in the accomplishments. And even another study, there's a memoir by a very specific scientist called James Watson. And he's actually the same scientist that discovered DNA and actually won a Nobel Prize for. And in his memoir, The Double Helix, he talked about this idea of the progress principle. And the progress principle states that the number one thing that you can do in your daily lives is provide yourself emotion, some confidence, some stability, is to accomplish meaningful work. Even an attempt at something that you may have fear in or you may be scared at is considered a massive success. Because this idea of winning, accomplishing things, both physically and mentally, that's the main motivator that helps us strive for harder tasks. If we didn't have this sense of winning, we would have never evolved to this point. Us as humans, with our technology, may not have been here. It may have been minimal progress. And I think that the idea of winning is a wonderful idea. But more importantly, if you don't have this sense of winning, of accomplishment, then you will let other people dictate the terms of the engagement. Hence, the reason to set goals. Because you can prioritize and choose your plan and your purpose in your life. There's an interesting myth that it's the same setup. It's in heaven and hell. And what they have is this long table. And on this table, they have food for as far as you can see. And there are people that are sitting on both sides of this table. But the utensils are extremely long. Too long to be able to fit in your mouth. You can't eat. So the people in hell, they live in this eternal frustration and hunger. But the people in heaven, they feed each other. Ted? It's good, yeah? If we're able to find out what it is that we're passionate about, then we'll be able to move forward and not backwards. I know that coming up here and giving a TED Talk at times, for many people, seems like an accomplishment, and it is, but it's also a fear. And whether or not you think that the fear exists, it does. If we don't pursue our passions in life, well, sure, that's fine. But if we do, the people that are able to take their passions and pursue what they want in life, they will be able to move forward and teach and educate those people with passion of the skills that they have to be able to produce further on into the future what generations can provide. Because here's the thing. People may forget what you say, but they will never forget how you make them feel. And that emotion will live on for eternity through stories from generation to generation. And if we don't do this, live our passions, fine, that's okay. We'll pursue other objectives, but ultimately that may lead to regret, resentment, and even destruction without us ever really realizing it. Please, take action on your passions to pursue purpose and progress for the sake of humanity. Plan, prioritize, and organize the skills that are necessary for you to develop in order to help other people for the possibility of our future. It's time to make a decision on what we want to do in this life. It's time to do it not just for ourselves, not in a me-centered view of the world, but for other people. It's time to make a change and to make a difference. And it's time to make a passion statement. Thank you. Now, I do have some extra thing, because apparently I'm a musician, yeah? So I am going to play a little medley, if that's okay, yeah? Yeah? Oh, well, I'll use this one for the guitar, and I'll sing into this one. Yeah. Thank you. All right. I wrote this song, say a few weeks ago, and I have only performed this live once before. So I'm happy to share this with you, and I hope that you enjoy. Did we lose our love, our love, our love? Did we lose our love, our love, our love? Did we lose our love? Was it enough? Did we lose our love, our love, our love? Did we lose our love, our love, our love? Did we lose our love? Was it enough? Was it enough? You know how true wisdom is, haunting you, waiting till you give in, ugly, unwanted, or dismissed, is not what you think it is. Your mission's to find it. You know that we can't stop now. I know what you're thinking about. You wanna shout, bust that, and yell. My passion's what I feel. So where is our love, our love, our love? Where is our love, our love, our love? Where is our love? Was it enough? Where is our love, our love, our love? Where is our love, our love, our love? Where is our love? Was it enough? 'Cause we lost it all, we're better off. We can't keep arguing across broken devices and reasons why we're better off than what we thought. If we lost it all, we lost it all, we've lost it all. If the love we thought was lost, we even lost it all. We even lost it all. We even lost
lost it all. And you know that we won't stop. And you know that we can't, 'cause we won't rock out. I'm wishing now, it's my passion I'm finding now. Where is our love, our love, our love? Where is our love, our love, our love? Where is our love? Was it enough? We'll find our love, our love, our love. We'll find our love, our love, our love. We found our love, yes, it's enough. 'Cause we lost it all, we're better off. We can't keep arguing across broken devices and reasons why we're better off than what we thought. If we lost it all, we lost it all, we lost it all. If the love we thought was lost, we've lost it all.
Thank you.